another project, this is a major project. With this, there are multiple minor projects as part of this. So like we will be integrating Prometheus Grafana for our monitoring of this particular EKS cluster. So we will be deploying Prometheus Grafana and then alert server also as daemon set. Okay, so what is daemon set and different components of Kubernetes like pods, replica set, right? Deployments, then services and storage class, okay, service account. Then we have 𝐷𝐵AC, right? So in this project, with this project, we will see all these topics as well. So you will have the good knowledge of Kubernetes components, and you will also deploy create this project where you will be having Prometheus Grafana, yes, Grafana and alert server in one of the project. Oh, sorry, it actually. Okay, and another project in another part of this major project only, the another minor project is deploying the new relic. Okay, deploying the new relic, and also we will be for all of this deployment, we will be not doing it manually, but we will be making use of Helm package manager. Okay. So you will learn about Helm as well. Okay, as part of this course. So this is another major project which is also having multiple minor projects. Like one is deploying the days, one minor project where we will see about these components. Then one is Prometheus Grafana, one is New Relic and Helm package manager. Okay, so these will be and EKS cluster provisioning through the Terraform. So multiple minor projects you can think about here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in turns it completes a one major project. Okay, so there are two projects. So you are learning each and every concept of DevOps. Okay, and most of the things will be covered here. So you can see it, how many tools here, and more than this, these tools are available when we talk about the second project. Okay, so if someone joined today for the first time, could you please if you have any question from these two projects? Actually, we already covered it in detail yesterday, so I just gave a quick overview. You will have access to the recorded session of yesterday videos, so you can see that. Even that is available on YouTube, our YouTube channel. There also you can see. So now I would go ahead and take some questions from you guys if you have any doubt or any question related to the project which we are going to do. Is there any questions, guys?
Hi, Gaurav.
Hello, Mohammed.
Quick question. So what is the expected timeline before you guys can complete this whole project or the course?
Yeah, so we commit for 35 hours, but it is like it depends on the batch, right? If someone is getting it in the first go only, then that's good. If someone is not able to understand, so we need to repeat it. Yes, we need to make him understand. So maybe it would be 5 to 6 hours beyond that could go. Okay, so 35 hours is the given timeline. It can be like 40 or 41 hours.
Okay, thank you.
So our main motto is not to complete the course, but to make you understand. So if you can go and ask anyone from our previous batches, so it went up to like some more topics we added on the go, right? Which is like very important for users. So on the go, we introduced some topic which is very relevant and useful based on the interviews going on around. So we did those kind of thing also. So in the 35 hours, you will be good to understand all the topics, but it can be extended to make you aware of some other topics or make you understand some topics in depth. Yeah, so it is like that. Okay. Any further question? Okay, if there is no question, so I would take it like you guys understood everything which we have discussed till now. So what is the schedule? Of course, Emmanuel would answer you in the chat everything about the course, like fee, course duration, timings, all the things he will answer in the chat. Okay, so let's deep dive into the agenda for today. So today's agenda, guys. Do you cover CI/CD tool like Jenkins? So we are covering this GitHub Action. Okay, GitHub Action is the tool. This is CI/CD tool only that we are covering. Okay, and okay, so as multiple questions I am getting from yesterday also, like why Jenkins everywhere they are asking. Jenkins is good, right? But nowadays multiple organizations are moving to the version control system managed actions. Okay, now CI/CD pipelines, I mean to say. Okay, so in GitHub, if you would see, there is this particular actions. Okay, so this actually used for the CI/CD pipeline. In GitLab also there is a GitLab CI/CD, in Bitbucket also. So nowadays each and every version control system is providing this functionality to configure CI/CD. Okay, as far as application like build and release pipeline, if you are talking about, so in that case Jenkins is predominant. You can do it with the GitHub Action, GitLab CI/CD, but Jenkins is predominant till now. But in the coming future, they are enhancing themselves, these all, and you can have better experience as well with these also. Okay, and as far as infrastructure automation is concerned, mostly 90% of the time companies are making use of GitHub Action, GitLab CI/CD, and whatever version control system they are using, they use the pipelines over there only. Okay, so they are configuring their CI/CD over there only. What is the advantage of it? If you are coming from Jenkins background, or if you have the exposure to Jenkins, so in Jenkins, if you want to use Jenkins as your CI/CD pipeline tool, then you will have to create a dedicated server or container, right? On top of that, you will have to install the dependencies for Jenkins, right? Like Java is required for Jenkins, and then you will have to install Jenkins on top of that, and you will have to manage the upgrade of that Jenkins server, patch of that Jenkins server. Okay, and even you will have to install multiple plugins, and then you will have to somehow get the code. You will have to pull the code into your Jenkins server, and then you can do the operations, different kind of things you can configure, your pipeline you can configure. But in case of GitHub Action or any version control system, if we have the CI/CD available in version control system, so these are what they do. They provide you a functionality that you can make use of their runners. Okay, runner is nothing but the server which is hosted by the version control system, like in our case GitHub only. Okay, you do not have to worry about that. You just need to define, if I can give you a glimpse or an example, so you just need to define your workflow, where you will write the different steps, what all you want to do, and you can define some trigger points, and if that trigger points matches, then this particular event will trigger and it will start running, and you do not have to worry about configuring the server, patching it, managing it, all those things. Even another thing is, it becomes very easy to manage the code and making the branching strategy, because this version control system has the source code, and your action is running integrated with this version control system only. So you do not have to configure a lot of things, right? It becomes very easy when we have the version control system related CI/CD pipeline available. Another good point is it uses YAML. Okay, so YAML it uses, so it is very easy to learn YAML and very easy to configure it, right? So, and one another advantage of YAML, if you know YAML, you can use it at multiple places. Like YAML can be used in writing Kubernetes manifest, YAML can be used for writing your Ansible configuration file, and with that same YAML language, you can write your workflow as well. So this is the advantage, right? Why I'm saying that in the application build and release pipeline, Jenkins is encouraged or mostly used, because that has the capability to write your code into groovy language. And in the application development and deployment, there is requirement to customize the things, right? So in that case, it is very dominant. But as far as infrastructure provisioning is concerned, there is not very much customization is required. And in that case, GitHub Action is very great tool. Okay. And from my experience, I can tell you that nowadays multiple companies are making use of GitHub Actions for their provisioning pipelines. Okay, even it has capability to do the application deployment. Like you can, if you want to deploy your Maven application, that we will be doing as one of the project, right? So we will be building the Java application with the Maven. So we can write the plugin are available in GitHub Action also. Okay, so Jenkins gives you better look and feel, right? That is currently not available in this. You will have to make it like little more integration you would have to require, but in Jenkins that comes predefined. So that is one thing you can achieve that as well, but they are continuously enhancing those. So in coming future, nobody would be using the third-party tool. They will be using the version control system in integrated GitHub Action or CI/CD pipeline, I would say. Okay, so this is good time to learn all of these, and market is shifting towards these all. Okay, and you can think about in this way how the cost will be optimized. You do not have to have another staff who will be configuring, patching, and managing the Jenkins server. Like you would not have to have an administrator for that use case. Yes, so these are the multiple advantages. Okay, still, if you want to learn Jenkins, we have on YouTube we have a very great video for the project. Okay, so let me show you very quickly LWPLABS. So one Jenkins project which was taken by where it is. So you can scroll it and you will find one. So very good project by what we call Rahul is there. Yes, Jenkins pipeline creation. So that you can see, or even you can go to our LWPLABS.com, and here we have recorded session available. So pre-recorded sessions available where you can find the courses related to Jenkins, and you can reach out to our admin team. Some of the courses are freely available, or even in ₹1 also. So you can check those. If you find for Jenkins related, you can go through. Okay, it's not possible for us to cover everything. You can see that how many tools and technology we are using over here. So it is not possible to cover everything in a single course. Yes, you would have to agree with this. If you would say any case, also teach me 𝐼𝐴 Okay, 𝐼𝐴 is another GitHub tools. If you would ask me to write the controller also, okay, just, explain me the concept of CRCRD. So it is not possible. It is not possible, right? So we will be covering this much. If you need another course, you can write to support@lwplabs.com if you are interested, and we can do the course for that as well. Okay, where we will be covering everything from the not only CK or CKD perspective, but as Kubernetes as a whole. Okay, you will get the knowledge of in and out of Kubernetes, but in the single course, it is not possible. Okay. Okay, so this is about this. Let's someone would have, like, if you are from the non-coding background or someone is coming from different domain altogether, you would be wondering, like, we are learning so many tools and technology. So do we need to have some is there any prerequisite, or do we need to have the experience in coding? So simple answer to that, guys, no, you do not require any coding exposure. Whatever we are doing, we will be doing from scratch. As far as Terraform is concerned, let me show you some codes and explain you those, so that it will be very easy for you to understand like how difficult it is for you or how easy it is for you. Okay. So this is from one of my batch where we created 3-tier architecture. So so just to give you just a second, let it load. Okay, so suppose this is your main.tf. Where it is? Yes, this is your main.tf here written, and here we are writing our codes. Okay, so this main.tf is from 𝐼𝐴𝐺. Just give me a second, guys. It has too many codes. Okay, let's talk about network.tf. So here in this particular piece of I would not say it's code, because it is not a code. Okay, Terraform is completely declarative language. Okay, so in the backend, it is making use of some code. Okay, that is written in Golang. Actually, that is making use of the provider of AWS, which is internally making use of Go SDK. Okay, for AWS, because we are working with AWS. So I will be talking about that one. Okay, so but externally, you just have to declare something. Like if you need to create the VPC resource, so you need to declare what is CIDR for that CIDR range. Okay, so suppose if you are creating a VPC from console also, so what all you provide? Let's imagine this way. Please allow me a minute, let it get loaded. Okay, so let's go to VPC. Okay, suppose if you want to create VPC from your console, so suppose I am checking the just VPC only. So what all you need to provide? You need to provide name tag, that is optional field. You definitely need to provide the CIDR range, right? And if you want IP version 6 CIDR block, you can provide this. Else you can say, no, I don't need it. Then you define the tenancy, and then you define the tags, right? So these all things you will do as part of your Terraform also. Whatever you need, you are declaring that. So it is called as declarative language, where declarative language is something where you define what you need, what do you want to create. And why Terraform is created? Because not everyone in the industry is good enough to work with the programming language or do the coding, right? So to make the DevOps engineers' life easy, who are not technically, programmatically, like not good in writing the codes, can make use of this declarative kind of syntax. And in the backend, they have written the code that will internally change it as the form of code, and then make API call and perform the activity into AWS. I will show you all the architecture, how the things are happening, but just understand this from that perspective. Okay, so whatever we define here while creating VPC through the console, like name for it, IP version, tenancy, tags, right? So same thing we have defined here as well. Okay, CIDR block, instance tenancy, enable DNS hostname, enable DNS support, and tags, right? So these all are part of this particular configuration as well. Okay, so you are declaring here that how your VPC you wants to have. You can see here something like var.CIDR for VPC. Do not worry about it. Either you can put like a hard-coded value for CIDR, like hard-coded value for CIDR, like 10.0.0.0/24. Okay, but it is not always the case. You will have to define it as a variable, so that everyone who is using this Terraform configuration can pass their own set of values, right? This code, it is not like for one time use you will be creating. You will be creating it for using it multiple times, right? For the reusability purpose. So it is better to make it variable. So we will talk about this. What is variable in Terraform? What is this resource block? All of these things we will be talking about in our regular sessions, which is starting tomorrow. But for now, understand this to make you understand, to make you feel comfortable. Like it is not something which is like very hard or difficult to understand. It is very easy to understand. You can easily grab it. Okay, if you have a little bit of analytical skills. Okay, so you will easily get it. So this is the syntax. Okay, and very easily you can apply it. Okay, and you can make use of this particular concept. And maybe some of you were wondering, like, would be wondering, like, from where I am getting these arguments. Nothing fancy. I'm not a god. I am not creating anything of my own. Okay, you can easily get it. AWS, VPC, Terraform. Okay. So click on this. So this is registry.terraform.io, where all the providers are listed, as I shown you yesterday, right? In the Terraform registry, there are multiple providers. So you can go to this list. These are providers. You want to work with AWS, so click on AWS, go to documentation. You want to find out for VPC. Okay, so scroll down a bit. And it is a bit challenging, right? You need to go through each and scroll down and all, AWS default VPC and all. So better way is to type in the Google Chrome, which I did. Okay. And you will easily land to this page of the resource page of this particular resource. So these all arguments, CIDR block, instance tenancy is defined here. Okay, so you will go to argument reference. So you can see that the CIDR block, instance tenancy, then another one, which one I was using. So enable DNS support, DNS host name tags. Okay, so enable DNS support, enable DNS host name tags, right? What are required parameter and what are optional, that is also defined. Okay, so the CIDR block is optional if you are using the IPAM, and description is also given when it is optional. Okay, when you should use it, what is the meaning of this? Suppose you are using instance tenancy, it is an optional parameter, but what it actually do, so you can learn about this. You can see the description. So very great documentation of Terraform is available, and that's why it is used by all the organization nowadays. Okay, so not all, but 90% of the organization, I would say. Okay. And if somebody wants to make the hybrid infrastructure and cloud agnostic, so in that case they are going for this approach using the Terraform, because currently this is the only option available for multi-cloud setup. Okay, I heard about one another tool, control plane or something, which is gaining some like in the market. It is in the talk right now, but it will again take I don't know how much time it will take to become as production ready as Terraform. Okay, fine. So this is about Terraform, and tomorrow onwards we will be doing a lot of things. We will play around this, and guys, each and every component of Terraform we will cover. Okay, it is not like just writing a simple block of code. Dynamic, what is dynamic block in it? What is data source? What is like null resource provider? How can we configure providers? How can we get the outputs? Okay, how can we pass the variables? All of these things I will take care of. Okay, you do not have to worry about anything, and we will get into very much in detail of Terraform. Each and every component of Terraform we will be covering. Okay, so this is about Terraform. Then another thing we will be covering is Ansible, right? We already discussed about those things. And there is some prerequisite. Okay, so guys, before joining tomorrow's session, I would like you guys to note it down, like what is the prerequisite. So you should have a free tier account. Okay, that is the first prerequisite. So you should have a free tier account, free tier AWS account. How can you create it? So very easy. Most of you are coming from Rahul's batch, so you would be aware, but someone if you're not aware, so AWS free tier, you will put this into search bar. You can put it into search bar and you can click on this, and here you can click on create an AWS account. Okay. So once you will click on this, it will ask for some details from you. What is the root user email address you want to use? What is the AWS account name you want to use? Then once you will verify, let's suppose, let me see what, I don't know if it will go through or not. abc@gmail.com. I have already an account, so it will ask you to verify the email address, but this email address does not exist, so I cannot verify it. We have a dedicated video on YouTube you can go through for creating your signing up your new AWS account. But just want to give you a quick overview. You will click on verify email address, you will get some OTP kind of thing. You will enter that, then it will ask more details like your address and all the billing information. Then it will ask for some credit card or debit card you can pass. So it will deduct 2 rupees, Indian rupees, if you are from India. I'm not sure about other countries. So 2 rupees, and that will also be reverted back into your account in few days. And if you are providing the credit card details, it doesn't match that, it will auto deduct the amount in next cycle. It's not like that. Bill will be generated, will be sent to you. That is kind of another level of authentication that they used to do with the help of credit card details. Okay, verification, I would say, validation and verification. So for that purpose, they are not deducting any amount from your card. Okay, so remember this in mind. Keep this in mind. Okay, so you need to create a free tier account, AWS free tier account. Another thing is you can have any ID. Okay, in any ID of your choice, like Notepad++ or PyCharm or whatever you want to use. But I would highly recommend to use VS Code, because I would be making use of VS Code, and if you will face any issue in ID, I could help you. But if you are using some other ID, then you are on your own to resolve an issue if you are facing in that particular ID. So this is another thing. How can you install the VS Code? So simply type VS Code download. Okay, so download Visual Studio Code, and based on your operating system, you can easily click on this. Okay. Okay, so it has started downloading, and it is very easy to install. You will just do the next, and you would be good to go. Okay, so let me share the link for it. If you find any issue in installing or something, we can have discussion in our session. Okay, so this is what the another tool you need. And the last but not the least, you also would need to install the Terraform. Okay, so I want you guys to be ready with all of these before tomorrow's session, because I want you guys to contribute. You guys need to write the code parallelly, and maybe I would ask some of you to share your screen and show what you have done. Okay, this way we can get the interaction. Other way, this is like you will be seeing the recorded videos and all, right? Okay, so pre-compiled binary you can have. Okay, this is not a good document, good way. Let me go to this. Okay, so on Mac OS you can, if you have, let me share it in the chat again. Okay, and on Windows you can download it. Okay, very easy. Download it, it will be downloaded into download folder. Yes, so move it into some other folders, like if you have in your C directory, if you have folder named binaries, move it to this like I have done, and you are good to go. You can run the Terraform version command, and it will start appearing. Okay, if you are putting it into some other location, then you will have to set up the environment variable for it. Yes, so that its path can be found when you are running the Terraform command from somewhere else. So how can you do it? So go to path, edit, and here you can write new, and the path, copy the path where your Terraform is set and put it here, and do the OK, and you are good to go. So that is another way of setting up the path. Okay, either you can put into the already into a folder which is already configured in the environment variable, or if you are passing it at somewhere else, then you need to set the environment variable like path for it. Okay, fine. So this is about these all. We need to have multiple tools like going forward. Like for Packer also, we would need to install, for Python also, for Ansible also, then for Kubernetes things also, like as we discussed, we need to have the 𝐾tl and all. But for now, these are something which is required because we are starting with the Terraform. Okay. So guys, this is your turn now. If you guys have any question, any query, any doubts, you can go ahead and ask from me, from Rahul. Okay, he is also available. Thank you, Rahul, for joining. No questions, guys?
Hello, sir.
Hey, Anuj.
Good morning, sir. I have one query that after completion of this course, so will you provide us placement assistance?
No, not like placement assistance we will provide. Nobody can guarantee you that they will provide the placement assistance. In what sense? Like getting the interview questions, getting some reference, those kind of thing you are asking? Yes, definitely we will provide that. Recently, I only posted in the channel, there was an opening with JP Morgan. Okay, so we used to get different openings, and we share in the, yeah, you can see that. So this kind of thing, it is not like we will place you in some organization that you need to do it, right? But we will definitely handhold. Okay, like we will provide you, like we all are working professional, working at different companies, and we have a good network. So you can join our LWPLABS LinkedIn handle as well, LinkedIn page as well. And yes, we provide this kind of like holding, like where we will give you the interview question and some reference if it is coming. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Any other question? So you can see that we have also posted the Ansible interview questions. Yeah. You can test your knowledge. So those can, nobody can place you, right? They can, if somebody is making that promise, they are just faking it. Okay. Anybody can give you reference as far as concerned. One guy, Kiran Kumar, he's from my evening batch. He got placed in TCS. Okay. So those kind of things are there. We will helping you with that. Even we have a channel where we, I do not remember exactly. Maybe Rahul or Emmanuel can give you that, like where we post about the openings there in the some organization. Okay, so that's how we help. Yeah, so all the links will be shared by the admin. Okay. Vinayak Patil, any pre-recorded video on how to install and configure Terraform? Could you please go to YouTube and check once, right? Anyway, we will be installing and configuring in our tomorrow's session, everything from scratch. But you would find something, or from LMS also you can get some course for free. Okay. Okay. So any other questions, guys?
is the Terraform is going to be part of licensed versions further, or is it free for now?
No, see, Sandy, there is actually it is not for someone who want to consume Terraform. It is like there are multiple organizations which are making use of Terraform, and top of that, they create some solutions and that sell to the clients. Okay, so it is not fair with Terraform, right? They are making use of Terraform to get profitable, and they are not giving any bid to the Terraform, right? So for that purpose, the licensing is available. Like if you are making use of Terraform to develop some other solution and that you are selling to some other companies or something as a solution, if you are giving, then in that case, this licensing makes sense. In that case, it will be there will be a cost. Okay, but if you are making use of Terraform for your own good, then it's not something which is you should worry about.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, this is how it is. And many, like it is already in the discussion on different forums, like from the many
Yeah,
many
why I'm asking this question is, so after hearing from you that we started working on Terraform and then slowly they start business kind that to be moved to license, then again it's a
Yeah. But actually, multiple contributors of Terraform has moved and making use of OpenTF. So, just creating a new one, OpenTF named one. Okay, if you will go through the community, you can see that. So even that will make use of Terraform only, but that is like open source version. And this particular Terraform also, if you want to use in your organization, you do not have to worry about. Okay.
all right. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, Gaurav. Guys, if you do not have any technical questions, let me just give information. And this is not for those guys who are already in the batch. One second. Batch